Welcome back to The Hot Slice, a podcast brought to you by the team at Pizza Today magazine. I am creative director Josh Cowan, along with me, executive editor of Pizza Today, and the person who kind of runs this show, The Hot Slice, Miss Denise Greer. Hello, Denise.
Aw, thanks, Josh. It's really fun to line up guests for this show because I try to go across the board. I try to get new operators, I try to get veterans, I try to get just people in between or people that are doing interesting things. So it's a lot of fun. It's fun
You
to
could
line
also
them up.
call yourself executive producer of this Hot Slice and
I
host.
guess.
I mean, you do a lot, wear a lot of
Yeah.
hats around here. So,
We like to wear a lot of hats at Pizza Today. So that's just what we do. But we also had something exciting happen in August. We named our Pizzeria of the Year, which is Mattenga's Pizzeria in San Antonio, Texas. And let me tell you, we brought Hengam and Matthew Stanfield onto this podcast today to talk about the business. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to see why they were named Pizzeria of the Year in this podcast because you're just gonna learn so much. They're just a
uh,
fountain of knowledge.
if you don't take away five things from this podcast, I'll eat my shoe. I mean, it's
What?
like I felt like I was getting a business degree just listening to them. So it's they're fascinating. They're totally it's so inspiring and uh well worth the pizzeria of the year for sure.
Absolutely. They got 7 locations there in San Antonio, and they are not stopping. And they are an inspiration. So, buckle up, kids. This is a longer podcast. So sit and enjoy it, take notes, because they bring so many ideas and practices that you might want to take into your operation.
Yeah,
So check it out.
absolutely. All right.
Performance Food Service is proud to deliver high-quality products, innovative technology, and custom operational solutions to restaurants of all sizes across the country. The flagship division of Performance Food Group, with deep roots in the restaurant industry, Performance Food Service has been the exclusive distributor of the Roma family of brands for more than 65 years. This signature relationship has allowed Performance Food Service to become a leader in the pizza and Italian segment of food service nationwide. Are you ready to elevate your bakeware game? Spokane, Washington-based Lloyd Pans is the trusted name for professionals and home chefs alike. For over 40 years, Lloyd Pans has been creating innovative food service, bakeware, and pizza pans and tools designed to deliver perfect results every time. Whether it's crispy golden pizza crusts or perfectly baked pastries, Lloyd Pans' durable, stick-resistant, and proprietary pan finishes are a game changer. Visit lloydpans.com to explore our full lineup and find your perfect pan today. Need shipping quotes or custom products? Email sales@lloydpans.com for personalized service.
Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. Thanks so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Yeah, so you've had an exciting month. First of all, like right around the time that we named you Pizzeria of the Year, you also got your three-peat on Best of San Antonio. So
Yeah.
that's a big honor. Congratulations there too.
Thank you. It was in the exact same week as you
Yeah.
did that, so it was pretty awesome.
So something I was wondering about with your the Best of San Antonio, you guys do a remarkable job with marketing those big wins like that. So how were you able to kind of have fun with that Best of
Mhm.
San Antonio to just kind of get the word out with your local folks?
So what happens is, whenever one of the things we call that like amplification when it
Yeah.
comes to media. So when there's like a media feature, so we're thinking about how are we going to let as many people know about it, and we never want to make it about us. First off, it takes a village with the team, but
Mhm.
also we are here because we have a lot of great customers that continue to support us. So it's always making it about gratitude to our customers for continuing to support us and turn it into that. So we do create videos about it and then they talk about it in our emails, but we talk about it all year. So it's not just a one-time thing. So whenever you have a good news or recognition, you need to drive it all year, if that makes sense.
And it's
Yeah.
part of recognizing the community, I think
Yeah.
also that of people that comes to our restaurants. And I think that's important. We also do like making sure we're promoting in store when we're looking at it. So
Yeah, it's folks sometimes come to me like, I voted for you guys, so
Yeah.
because the
No,
voting,
I voted 7 times.
I
You
voted
can vote
7 times.
one time per day.
It's one time a day you can vote, but because people are part of the process, we asked folks to vote for us, and the
Hmm.
email there was a QR code at the store to please vote for us. It's relatively they made it so you can't cheat it. It is
Yeah.
hard to cheat it. You have to every time log in to go vote. It's not just like a regular page that anybody can go vote. You have to be registered and all of that. So when you make your customer base part of the voting process, and then
Hmm.
when we do actually win that, make the celebration also about the customers and all that, so they feel part of what we do, which they actually are. So we're just kind of telling more of those stories. That's great.
Do you see a significant spike in business after that is released to the public?
I would say we have had, by God's grace, like 15 to 20% steady sales growth this year.
Yeah.
And so it's really thinking about how, like, you have one news that hits or something that happens, you want to build that momentum going. So it's like, for example, it's Super Bowl. We're going to see that boost. Then it's Valentine's. Then it's Pi Day. So you want to just keep that momentum going versus
Hmm.
like one big spike that comes down. Like
Yeah.
we had
Yeah.
Dave Portnoy visited us in February, for example,
April.
in April, I'm sorry. And then so he went up, and then we tried to keep that going. So just as
Yeah.
a pizzeria, you have to keep telling more stories to keep people engaged alongside of the journey
I
with you.
think we saw a bigger boost the first time because a lot of people had not heard of us.
Right.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I think this third time we're seeing it's hard because we're also Pizzeria of the Year and Best Pizza San Antonio at the same time. So it's hard to know
Hmm.
what is causing and driving it
Right.
exactly because there's multiple things. Plus Dave Portnoy in April,
Hmm.
continued to see that impact and influence. So between the combination of the three, we're definitely seeing significant increase over last year, and
Yeah.
I think it's sustaining. With Best Pizza San Antonio, for me, it's now we're San Antonio's favorite pizza. So
Yeah.
we're changing the way we're talking about it now that we're Best Pizza 3 times in a row. So
The one thing that is very evident from visiting you guys is that you guys have a true like passion and love for that city. Like you can tell that San Antonio is just part of your beings there. And it's really neat to see, especially because you guys came in from other places and
yeah.
built your life there.
Mhm.
And so, tell us about kind of being ingrained in the San Antonio community because it's a medium-sized city and there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
Being ingrained in the community it's like being adopted. You come to Texas and the saying is you got to Texas as fast as you could if you're not actually from here. And then they'll ask about, if you're from California, they question you. But that's just part of being
Matt is
Texas.
from California. That's why
Yeah.
he's saying that. But
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
can absolutely say it.
because we came here
So
as fast as we could. That's
I think it's also about when you go to a community, we knew when we bought the restaurant we were going to be here for a long time. So it was like we're going to be here for a while. We've got to know everybody. We've got to be involved. And I think, and I really love the town, the people, the way the town is compared to where we were living in New Mexico and even in California. It's just this is like where we feel at home, if
Mhm.
that
Hmm.
makes sense. And so
For
when you're
sure.
at home, I mean, you want to take care of your home. And so with our dining rooms, it's just an extension of our living rooms to an extent. And so, I mean, that's how I look at it and feel about it.
That's amazing.
Is there, I know you have 7 locations right now. Is there talk of moving some locations outside of San Antonio?
I mean, technically, we have one in Shirts, which is not San Antonio, and one in New Braunfels. So, yeah,
Surrounding. Yeah.
the surrounding area for sure. So you could call it Greater San Antonio. San Antonio Austin Metroplex is projected to be around 8 million
Hmm.
by 2050, which is very soon.
Oh,
The
wow.
amount of growth we've seen since we moved here. I think the town was about 1 million, maybe 1.1, maybe 950, depending on how you count military coming through.
Hmm.
I believe we're over 2 million in 10 years.
Wow.
So it
Yeah.
is phenomenal
Fast growing. Yeah.
growth
Yeah.
in this area. Just I've seen a lot of construction here, and I can't imagine those who were here 30 years ago what they the differences they've seen. So it's going to be, when we say San Antonio, it's just because San Antonio is the one on the map, but it's
All those
all the
surrounding.
surrounding areas for sure,
Yeah.
and
And
probably beyond that. But
also to put it in perspective, like there are 60 Domino's here in San Antonio.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that, and think about Marcos, think about Papa John's, think about all of those folks. There is a lot of opportunity here. So
Yeah.
we're hoping to add a lot more in San Antonio before we go further out.
yeah, and Papa John's and Marcos are rapidly uh,
Expanding.
expanding. They're competing with us, so there's market share.
Oh, I'm sure. And I loved when we had a conversation about the fact that San Antonio, Texas is such a big state, but when you think about Texas, you actually think about San Antonio more than
Mhm.
some of the other cities because you have the Alamo, you have like this
The River Walk.
quintessential, yeah, the quintessential, kind of Texas like look to it.
Mhm.
So as you grow, what are you thinking about, as you look at your region right there, on your growth strategy?
Uh, in terms of growth strategy from our region, I mean, Houston, Austin are the next logical steps.
Hmm.
Dallas, I think, could definitely be a market for us if we have somebody. I don't know if that's a franchisee or an operator from one of our stores going up there. More likely franchise because I think it gets harder to operate further and further out. So, and from that perspective, I think San Antonio really represents Texas. Texas, in a lot of ways, represents the U.S. In conjunction with LA and California and New York in New York. So I think those three really represent the US around the world. So the opportunity to go from San Antonio, I mean, even to the world it's something I dream about as a possibility. I like to say it'd be really cool to open a location in Dubai. Just I don't know how they would react to Texans over there, but I think it's a cool idea in my
It
mind.
is a cool idea.
Goals. Gotta have goals.
Yeah, and
Yes, absolutely.
you have
And then
such
I'd have
a
to travel
tight,
there and it'd be
yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah.
we deal with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. But I think about your brand, and you have such a tight brand. Like your brand is so together, and so if you look at those growth things, like you're poised for it with the brand you have, I think.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, definitely. I think we're very close to like all systems go. This year we've not added locations. It's been like a deep breath year as sales has increased with just the 7 stores, but getting ready for next year I'm very excited for it. And we're just tweaking things and getting ready so that way if we add 5, 10 stores, it's possible to do it without a significant amount of pain like we experienced in 22 when we added 4 stores in one year.
Yep.
So
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about systems because you guys are very system oriented and it's very impressive. So, how did that come about? Was it natural? Was it something you just picked up along the way? How did all that come about?
systems is almost in our DNA with our
Yeah.
backgrounds in engineering. I'm civil engineer. She's the smart one. She's electrical engineer. And so the systems process comes very natural to us. It comes easy. Sometimes we over engineer the systems. We've been accused. I'm not.
overcomplicating things.
I don't necessarily believe it, but supposedly anyway. So that's where the systems comes from. Is you think in process. I say sometimes an engineering degree is a degree in a spreadsheet. At least my degree, hers was black magic. But so when you've got an engineering mind and a spreadsheet, translating that into business, the back end side of the pizzeria, that came very natural. And like we do crazy things like go tour Toyota just so that we can learn how to make a pizza a little bit more efficiently.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
those
Yeah.
guys know how to make stuff. So and they make all the Tundras and Tacomas. I think
Here in
most of the
San Antonio.
Tacomas for the U.S. market is made here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Oh, see,
Um,
that's amazing.
I did want to say that, as restaurant owners, you have many problems. Then you can think about the source of your problem. And I have always had the tendency that whatever problem we have is a system problem. Right before this call, for example, just like minutes
You can't
before,
see our whiteboard.
Matt's alarm thing is going, like one of the alarms at one of the restaurants is going off. And
Oh
so,
no.
so every problem we look at, where's a system gap in here? What is a system gap that's causing this problem instead of pointing to people. A lot of times I think in our industry, we look at people are the problem. So if you shift your mindset and what's the system, that people obviously run the systems. If you
Yeah.
view things that way, it really opens your mind to think deeply about your problems, find patterns, which is what we do. What's leading to that? What if we change this to this? And we go really deep into the processes behind everything we do, like really dissecting, like when it comes to, we were talking about recruitment, between the job applications that's posted, what's the timeline, what are the steps, what are the interview questions, we're reviewing all of those things, all the way to onboarding, all the way to doing 30, 60, 90 assessments of this team member's skill set to get them within 90 days to be hopefully like master Gemtex, we call like masterful at the operations inside and lead. And so all of those, we go really deep. So I feel like if folks remove the pain, that is the frustration with people, because you can't change people. So what you can do is change process, change systems. And we've been obsessed over this for the last decade. And
we still have to get better at our people systems. So as
Yes.
engineers, we talk to the spreadsheet a little bit easier and the
Yeah.
whiteboard.
Yeah.
And sometimes we do with
Yeah.
managing people, because that's still an important component. And
Yeah.
so we're
Oh,
getting better at
100%.
that, but that's
Yeah.
been one of our struggles as
Yeah.
engineers, is the
Yeah.
managing, because that's on the contrast on the other side, is managing the people running the systems and holding their feet to the fire on, hey, did you follow the system?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
those, and it's work in progress. It's always
Yeah.
optimizing and improving. So we don't run a perfect operations, if anybody thought of that. No, there's no such thing. There's no
Right.
such thing. It's,
There's no such thing. But you know what? You talk about your people, but I actually think you're really, really good at that, because I was looking at, we were talking about your meetings, the meeting schedules you have, and just being able to keep people informed, but also educated and inspired. That's something you guys excel at. I get like the fact that you have a book club within your restaurant, like that's great. And that you're pulling, like I love that you're pulling insights from other industries to say, how can we bring this in and help our managers and employees succeed? So tell them a little bit about what you do there, because that fascinates me.
Sure. So I wanted to say, like, one of the things that we've done this, we learned that from a book called Double Double by Cameron Herold.
Okay.
Especially for a company that is fast growing, it is very important to establish some weekly meeting rhythms. This is nothing new.
No.
Hopefully everybody has that. So within our meetings at this time, we do multiple meetings. It's all back to back. So we start a meeting, there's a structure for it. We end it and we start the next one. So the first one,
It was one meeting.
it was always one meeting,
Yeah.
and we're like, you know what, let's separate them so we can stay focused on a topic at a hand. And so it goes back into our company values, Denise, that you beautifully wrote in the article. Thank you so much for that. So one of our meetings is Texas hospitality. We go over our reviews in detail. Also, our captains, which are like our managers, they go around and share hospitality stories.
Yeah, but it's not just any hospitality story. Taking the pizza to a customer's car is not an acceptable story to share.
Yeah.
It has to be above and beyond. So like somebody who's 10 miles out of the delivery radius and it's Friday night at 10 o'clock and they're ordering a delivery, and our team member taking the food out to him just because.
Yeah, so
Like,
there's
unreasonable.
because that person was like had a surgery and they always come on Friday nights, they're not able to come. So we're making these exceptions and cultivating our managers to see beyond regular operations, the hospitality and the heart of service. So that is a great time people share. And then we look at our pictures of pizzas that are posted online, comparing consistency, because that's also part of Texas hospitality for us. Then we do have our engineered meeting, which is purely looking at numbers. And we look at, I want to say 20 numbers. It's in one spreadsheet. And we print it in what, 11 by
It's an 11 by 17.
11 by 17.
There's too many numbers.
So-
8.5 by
Yeah. So a captain of
at least that I can read.
a captain of a ship is able to look at one piece of paper and see how they are doing. In there, they have labor, sales, COGS, purchases, beginning inventory, ending inventory, reviews, number of reviews that were placed. So we track
And
that.
stores, Google, Yelp,
We
on our sites,
like
feedback
yeah.
direct.
So because we're always looking at not just numbers, we're looking at patterns of what's going on, because you can have a one-off week here and there, but we're looking at patterns. one of those includes 4 weeks for one period and one sheet. And so that's our engineered meeting. Then we do our invest meeting, which is focused on developing our management team. So it may be a leadership topic, how to handle customer concerns and stuff. Like we do role plays during those sessions as well. So I have like maybe managers stand up and then this is the customer, this is.
You forgot the book presentation where
We do
2 or
book
3 people are required to
presentations.
present
Yeah.
on the book to make sure that
All of
they're,
that
you know,
happens during
at
invest.
least thinking about it occasionally.
Yeah, during invest is that what happens. Then at the store level,
Accountability.
I know, during our store levels, there's war meetings, which is our weekly action review. They talk about the numbers, the spreadsheet goes back, the paper goes back, and the leadership team at the store look at their numbers. They need to know how they're doing. So what gets measured, it gets improved. Or in Stanislaus Dino says, what gets measured gets done is a quote.
Yeah, I like the done better than
Gets measured, gets improved. So the team is aware how they are doing. And then they do have their duplication meeting where they go through the role plays and all of that at the store level as well. I'm sorry, it's really extensive, but that is what it takes to develop our people. So they know.
Penguins exist to train people for success in life through excellence and diligence.
So that's
in here. And so that's how we're putting
it. Has to be reflected. We ran even
scalable
numbers to be how much money companies spends on meetings. We ran that.
You're wondering, we have numbers on that too.
On how many hours, how many people attended. So we ran the math for the year, but also for our leadership team to realize this is what the company is willing to invest in you. And any investment needs to have a return. If not, this relationship is not going to work. So it's mutually as.
Are you going to tell them the number?
Oh, which one?
The investment number, the
investment
cost. Like, did the math.
Yeah, for our Tuesday meeting, because we have 7 locations, we have 2 multi-unit managers and our HR, it's like $450 per meeting. Tuesday meeting is what the company.
Oh, wow.
We're still hitting our labor numbers for the week. That is included in all of that. So we're tight on those, but we want to make sure. But the team needs to know that this is, as we invest in them, for them to be able to grow and earn raises, this is a process. So we're helping them move up, because as they move up, the company will go. And that goes back to our 3X win.
And our guests are taken
care of. We want to make sure, because we believe you can have a thriving company and all the while bless the community, donate a lot of pizzas, donate all the things, and take care of your team and run profitably. So that is the equation we solve for. How are we going to all work together to make it happen for the team, for our guests, and the company needs to be profitable, or we can't have a conversation.
I feel like working a couple years for you guys should be equal to getting a business degree. I'm serious. Like, I mean, I'm inspired. I want to go work for you guys right now. I mean, it's just amazing what your employees can learn from you and go forward with that. It's so impressive.
Means a lot.
We should partner with a college so that we can, put that down.
create a program.
They can run some deliveries for us on the weekends. We're always hiring.
You guys definitely have a future in consulting if you want to get out of the pizza business, for sure.
Appreciate it.
That's definitely something that I learned when I went, is just how meticulous like your playbooks and just all of your systems are to make things work smoothly. But I also love that you are always thinking about how can we do things better? How can we help people better? How can we do things better? Like, you're always looking for those opportunities. And one thing that I like is that whole point of like that you take time together to hit a reset and think about what's not working, what can we do to move forward. And I think in between like our conversation now and when we visited you guys had one of those sessions, right?
We did. We do quarterly and then one like annually. So like next week, actually in the next 2 weeks, we're going to the Vault as a business conference we go to every year by Valuetainment. And then so Matt and I we already are planning our Q4 and all of 2026. So I'm going to have marketing plan for all of next year done. And it's nice to have a deadline to get stuff done, because you'll be surprised what you can get done when you have a deadline. So, and we print out a little manual we're taking 10 of our managers with. And so we're going to be going through that. Yeah. But we look at, hey, let's look.
The benefit has been so, you're talking about, we had done a retreat in June where we actually had gone to Stanislaus, see
Hmm.
Saputo and cheese, and then we went on a retreat and kind of talked about what we needed to do and plan. It's very interesting because we had 5 people,
Mhm.
6 people. I think
Yeah.
I'm missing
Hmm.
somebody. And it's very interesting to see how some of those leaders came out of that just on fire and made so much improvements. And then one just kind of dropped off, and I don't know why. But the ROI still, even though like one person drops out and is not engaged for whatever reason, it's more personal for him, I think. But the seeing that ROI, that investment, extra time, and
Hmm.
nobody else does that in the restaurant industry or in most industries, taking people on a retreat like that, and like a trip of a lifetime for some. They've not been,
Hmm.
some have probably not even been out of Texas, let alone gone to another state or on a plane. So we're doing that again next week with the Vault. I think it has tremendous value developing our people, and I want to grow with our people. We have great team members. It's a lot of fun in the business right now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You first, you don't know what's going to come out. It goes back into investing and how you find good people. You don't know. So you're going to invest, you're going to give people a shot. Some will rise and exceed your expectations, and some will not. And that is okay. As long as the ones that do exceed expectation are able to bring that value to the business, we count it as good. If you think 100% of your bets are going to be successful, or every single restaurant you open is going to crush it from day one, it just is not how it works on earth. So we always want to make sure, we already know that a percentage of them will not return.
Yeah.
But
Last year's trip was 50% success rate. The year before was 25%.
yeah.
So I
Mm.
think I'm getting better at it. Maybe I like to think that. Trying to iterate, make it better.
Yeah.
That's that, and that's why you make the perfect pizzeria of the year, because you look at your success and what you've been able to do and the company you've been able to build, but you're not stopping there. I mean, that's the key. There's no stopping for y'all. Like that's what I'm so impressed by, is that it's not, hey, how can we maintain? It's, hey, how can we move forward? And I just
Always.
it's inspiring.
Yeah, I
Thank
feel
you.
like you guys are just barely getting started at this point because
All right.
well, for the last time we talked on the podcast to now, it's just been amazing. So it's like, yeah, it's fast forward for you guys. It's amazing.
Thank you. It means a lot. We go fast. We make a lot of mistakes quickly, and we're just constantly improving. That is our success formula, I would say. Just,
Yeah.
yeah.
As
Foot
some
on gas.
Foot
That's our
on gas. No, we are not going to compromise on speed. We're just going. Some
You're
things
just
fall.
special
going.
friend. We love that movie, Formula One.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Uh,
I think I told you this, that I could write an entire book on you. Like a couple thousand words wasn't enough to cover like the all of what you do and how you do it. Because I know, like when we were sitting in the car on the way back to the hotel, because guess what? Their hospitality extends to us guys. They like picked us up from the hotel, brought us to the restaurant. Like it
Oh
was
wow.
awesome. It was the hospitality was beautiful. But what
thank
also
you.
was very cool was we had this whole conversation on the ride home about your commissary, which I didn't
Mhm.
really even get to talk about, and AI. And those were two really fun conversations that we didn't even get to scratch the surface on. But so I guess the question is, how's the commissary going, and kind of what's the move with that?
Sounds good.
So since you were here, the commissary, we've rolled it out to all of the stores. We're
Hmm.
still doing dough in store, but we're doing cheese at one store. The other 6 are all at the commissary with cheese. The control factor there has been huge. The labor savings, for me, I think there's like a break even. We probably should have done this around like 4 stores.
Hmm.
Uh, so I don't think there's the ROI is there at a smaller amount, but right now we were able to shave labor target from 23% to 19%. And I think there's more opportunity still. Getting a van, refrigerated van, and
Yeah.
just sending things out. We're taking care of the food safety. I mean, it's been, and then the control over our
Consistency.
product consistency local has been tremendous. It's really, I think it's also like we did it at the same time as all this media was doing happening, and the very good media. And so that has, in conjunction, has really helped grow. Because I think if we had not and we were too inconsistent, we'd have seen a spike and then a fall. Whereas we've seen a spike and then a little bit of normalization, but it's still continuing up.
Yeah. I wanted to clarify about the commissary where Matt is saying ultimately it's one of our locations that had a big size walk-in
Yeah,
and
that's
had good
acting.
space on the back. So
Yeah.
currently in this phase, we don't have another location just for commissary. It's the
Yeah.
same rent we were already paying for one of our
Yeah.
locations, turning that into a commissary. Then it is not actually getting all the tasks from the stores, bringing them to the commissary. We used to slice vegetables with knife, and I am pro teaching our kids knife skills, kitchen skills, but it was really hard to be consistent. So what happens is you getting a task and you run in the math. How much are we spending? How many hours or people are doing a certain task, shredding cheese, for example, or slicing vegetables. And then so we put things into commissary and we bought an equipment like, okay, well, Roboku is $2,000. It increases.
The cheese hog was.
The cheese hog has been also a big, big
I think it's
return.
probably 2% of that labor target is literally just on cheese.
So, but
Jeez,
it is a
because when you shred with a Hobart, it takes about 15 minutes with that Pelican attachment. Let's say 15 minutes to get 48 pounds of cheese shredded. With the cheese hog, it takes
was it 10 seconds, 8 seconds,
15 seconds.
Yeah, it was very quick.
It was,
so we've run the math.
It takes longer to unwrap cheese.
Yeah.
Like my complaint at Saputo was that it takes too long to unwrap the cheese now versus the other way. So
because if you count the time, so Matt, as he said, he has a PhD in spreadsheets, but this is not formulas and complicated. You just need to track the time that it takes to do each task. Then across all of our locations per day for a year, how much are we spending on labor? So getting equipment at the commissary that increased consistency of the product, and folks at the commissary aren't dying. They're just obviously putting stuff into using equipment. And then at the store level, we reduced the labor to, as Matt said, our target is 19% now because we removed those prep, bringing them into commissary, bringing in equipment. So again, going back to win, 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 win for our customers. So it's consistent product, win for the team. They're not like on Saturday mornings is unbearable that some of our stores, the amount of prep that needs to be done to get caught up and all of that. So we've lowered the burden on the team, and then commissary obviously adding some equipment. So we ran the math.
And we've been able to give the team more time to practice hospitality because they're not up front doing
worried about the prep.
Correct. Example.
The dip cups was a big deal too.
They're there to the guest as opposed to, well, I'm doing this task. They don't have that excuse anymore. So our hospitality and reviews has
increased as well. So again, going back to that 3x win, we count that as a success.
I can actually see that working because Josh can attest to this because he's worked in restaurants too. But the side work you do in front of house, I can remember just sitting there doing some of that side work and just being like, "Hey, I'm trying to get to you and trying to get this stuff," So you're just trying to. So being able to not focus on all that side work and actually get down to what you're there to do, that's amazing.
Yeah, you can focus really on the customer if you don't have to be doing all that. So
yeah,
you guys are the very definition of dialed in. That's what I would say.
It. Yeah, dialed in. I could have called the article
we have a few of those,
yes. That's amazing. I'll end it on this question because we've kept you for a long time. But as you're looking forward, what's the second half of the 2020s? Like, we're now entering that back half of the 2020s. So, what's that look like for y'all?
I think first, from a family perspective, I think when does Luke graduate? In 3 years?
Yeah.
We have a sophomore in high school. So
we'll
have somebody, we'll have one in college, another one right behind that by the end of the 2020s here. So it's mind-boggling to think about. So I've got like 3 years left with him. So there's going to be, I want to make sure we've got time for trips and going and doing the things that he's going to do before he goes to college or goes and does what he's going to do. Hopefully he just runs the business and I can go travel, but
there you go.
See.
Ideal.
We'll see. We all have goals. That's why we have 4 kids. So I have, 25% chance, 25%, 25. Just, how long it's going to take. Beyond that, in terms of business, we've got big vision. We want to grow. We talked about San Antonio, San Antonio's favorite pizza. I think that there is huge opportunity for our concept in the marketplace. And so there's going to be a lot more locations. we keep talking, going back and forth on franchising, and some other fun things that I can't share on the podcast, but are
Yeah.
coming. So, we're working on it for sure.
Yeah, and also thinking about in the next 5 years, who do we need to be such that those things, when the opportunity comes, we're ready for the opportunity. Even when we're talking about franchising or adding another location, for any of the folks who are listening into, you need to realize what do we, what are we gonna, are we ready even for the opportunity? One of our conversations, we look back in the last 3 years, we 3x'd the number of our restaurants. So if we just grow at that same rate in 3 years, 7, we need to be at 21 locations.
Yeah.
And so any decisions that are coming our way at 7, we put it through this filter. Are we able to do this when we have 21 locations and I don't know, 400 employees? Are we able to do that? No, then we're not going to do that. So we're going to act as if. So it's kind of good to go into the future, cast a vision, and come back to realize how are we to run our operations differently? What kind of a leaders Matt and I need to be? How are we going to raise our accountability, our discipline? These are areas that we're working on because the company is a reflection of your character, and we have work to do. What has gotten us here will not get us there. So in the next 2 weeks, as we step into way, those are the things we ask ourselves as well. How do we need to lead different?
In the last 3 years, we were way buried in the weeds. We were way buried in the operational details, and had not gotten free of those, partially because of our own mind wanting to fix every little detail, and
Too controlling.
Why is the dip cup not in the box? I don't understand. There's some things like that that's just like, I'm gonna solve, and then finally it's just like, okay, we just have to move on to other things. So I think that's been a huge shift for us this year also.
Yeah, solving bigger problems. That is the theme as well. So
No, thinking further ahead, trying to plan, act like.
Oh, that too, yes.
So all of our moves, we talked about our technology and stuff we've shifted this year, the commissary, all of that is thinking about that
Yeah.
3 years from now.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, you guys are definitely like thinking forward, and we cannot wait to continue to watch where you go and how you do it, because it's a beautiful thing to watch from our side.
Thank you. And we're hoping to bring a lot of our team members and managers to Pizza Expo. That's the highlight of the year
Absolutely.
for the team. So
Excellent.
see you all
Well,
in March. Yes.
yes. Well, we'll definitely see you in March. And thank you so much for coming on to the show today.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Take care.